Alright, Chapter 16, Advanced Wall Topics. Move on to the wall of the really. It seems although all we do is walls, well, that's because of the building composed mainly of walls. You may have to know for the exterior walls, compound walls, with the reveal of the part of the cap of the west wing with the half of the straight staircase completely unsupported. Would be nice to add walls to make these stairs less spongy, with the given of the fact of the west wing with a highly architectural walking word work area. The wall could use some trim that could be added with the right with the wall profile. Also, they have in the lines with the curtain wall of any kind. Create compound walls, adding wall sweeps, creating stacked walls, creating curtain walls, and adding a wall to a massing object. Creating a compound wall with the first item with a handle with the top of the wall, develop the wall with a different material with the exterior of the wall, even the middle with the primary example of the compound wall with the bottom 3 foot of the wall, consider the concrete block for the rest of the wall brick. Then you cut the section of the wall that you can see with the wall with the airspace with the wall with the metal sub of the wall back up. Usually the chapter will start with a claim in the following procedure so easy the child could do it. It's something of the nature of the development of the compound isn't easy for the attack of the Autodesk or the AutoCAD architectural software. The preacher with someone touch of the do it well with the tag spread with the section and the create with the interior wall with the wood finish on the bottom along with the different wood material with on the top of the issue exclude with the chair rail along the wall. To go start with chapter 15 from the website. Object with the proceed with the create with the compound wall with the basic wall file along level 1 west dependent floor plan architectural clap. Click the wall button type selector with the property dialog box basic wall generic 6-inch property dialog box edit type button click duplicate click new wall west stairwell support wall click OK edit button structure row, click the material cell of the structure as shown in figure 16.1. Click the button in the material of the bars metal stud layer. OK, thickness of 5.5 inches at the bottom. Edit assembly dialog box previous button. With the preview open, change the view of section modified type of the previous attributed. Don't see if you have done much. Just like with the chart with the building of your wall. Time to now focus back on the layers field. Adding layers to the compound wall. If you're Autodesk, the AutoCAD veteran, the term layers is different than meaning with the Revit, the term layer pertaining to the wall assembly representative of the material layer with the same of the actual thickness of the wall, its own material. As you can see with the figure 16.3, with the understanding of the difference between the interior and exterior of the following, proceed with the adding both of the exterior and the interior portion of the wall. Follow these steps, layer area with the click the number 1 shown in figure 16.3 and the row holds of layers above the wrap field. So, click insert button, Revit to create for the new layer above the one and select the newer layer is also set to the function structure or material 1 by category thickness 0, function to finish 1, internal material, so click button, Jimson wallboard, click OK, material browser, click, change the thickness to 5/8 of an inch, click row 4, insert button, down button, shown figure 16.4, located below the layers all the ways, the right of the new layer becomes 5. Change the function finish 1, click the material cell button, change the wall to find and select Jimson wall board, click OK to material browser, change thickness 5/8 of an inch, so the layers should be resemble 1614. Now that the wall is wrapped with one layer 5/8 of an inch gypsum on each side of the starting with the veneered plywood exterior wall to the next procedure, adding a 3/4 inch plywood exterior to the wall with the following along. Click 1 finish of the top layer, insert of the function finishing material mahogany material plywood cutting material, click OK, thickness of 3/4 inch. Your walls lasted or resemble the 16.5. At the bottom of the dialog box, click OK, click apply. Now let's go back and split the walls into two. It would be nice that you could have cherry and the top of the mahogany at the bottom. Revit gives you the ability to do this. And new material splitting of the region. After you have more than one material along the face of the wall, you can split the region command with the edit base of the dialog box. Subject with the following procedures. Add the new material of the plywood with the top half of the plywood face. Click edit button, structure row, click 1 the top layer, click insert with the chain of the function finish 2 with the for material selection area, click OK. Don't give it the thickness. Next procedure take care of that. Click the split region button shown in figure 16.6. Move the cursor over the plywood, play with the cursor to the knife, and show the horizontal line with the plywood indicate where the original region will be cut, whereas in 3 feet with a temporary dimension with a big point shown with the do not press escape when you finish. By splitting the workplace with the modifying button split line you just created, then you click the dimension, the edit location with the direction area of the split, survive the split instead of the bottom up and from the bottom down. You split the plywood, only thing left to do with the new material of the upper region accomplished with the using the layers button. Assigning material to different layers. Assigning material to the command lets you choose whether you'd like to assign a layer with a useful to contact the dialog box because of the area and stuff with the ability to move the layers around with the wall as necessary. Of course, when you split the wall layer as you just did with the notice of the thickness of the two wood layers are set with a zero variable to be your effort that needs to assign the alternate layer at this point. Next, you assign the tray layer with the upper portion of the plywood for along with the pick layer 1 row shown figure 16.7 and assign layers 16.7. Move the cursor upper region plywood layer cherry is assigned with the upper portion of the wall with the thickness of 3/4 inch. At the bottom of the dialog box, click OK. Edit button with the structure row with the go back to edit the symbol of the dialog box. Click the top of the wall display and shown in figure 16.8. Click the modify button, hover with the cursor top of the 3/4 inch plywood, the top of the plywood highlight with the pick line, unlock with the blue padlock. Click OK one more time. Back to the model. Click modify panel, architectural tab, escape, save model. Unlocking the layer can improve the layer to up and down depending on the one you would need. The good example useful with the functionality when you need to slit a brick ledge on the down with the foundation. Some of the people find the splitting with the region edited assembly easier as well as the others consider it more difficult. I found them to perceive the difficult at first, and if you're like the technique that requires practice, if you've done a few more walls, don't worry, get it easier with the time to play. For the automatic sweep it along with the wall, would it be nice? Come to think of it, wood base and chair rail would be finished with the wall perfectly. Adding wall sweep, the concept of adding a wall sweep close to the actual construction with the coming with the setting up of the top shelf with the cover that you want to add some of the specific people that sweep it along with the wall that you need to go outside of the model, fine, or create the profile at the beginning. Into the model with the process similar order, the trimming, installing the following proceed with the load a base on the chair with the rail trim at the end of the model with include the items of the wall that you have them working on following line. Insert tab, clicking on load family above with the private profile directory to go to the finished carpentry load with the base and casing profiles. On the manage tab, click on the materials, right click with the material cherry, duplicate with the choice, click the material with the cherry solid, with a double click with the new material with the material editor, chain with the cut pattern 1, select material mahogany, duplicate button, chain with the of the name of the mahogany solid with the material edit change for the pattern color and cut pattern to wood 1. Click done, click OK, architectural cap wall, click the wall button, make the current wall west stairwell, support wall property dialog box, edit type of the edit button, structure row, click sweep button, showing figure 619, sweep, show the, sweep wall sweep the dialog box. Click add button showing figure 1610 profile base 1 and 5.5 inch by 5/8 of an inch material with mahogany solid. OK. Click add button again. New profile casing with a 5.5 inch by 13/16 of an inch with the material mahogany solid 2 foot 6.5 inches from the base. Click OK with a zoom in the wall with a sweep to locate with a confirm when the place is expected. Click OK one more time to go back to the model property panel with the base offset with 0 foot 0 inches options bar with the heights unconnected with the heights at 10 foot 0 inches. Select the location of the finished face exterior rear and make sure the chain option is on. Save offset at 1 inch. Draw a wall, snap the inside of the string within shown on the figure 1611. This going clockwise direction, so the northern part. Staircase mark 1, 1611. On the geometry panel, modify the place wall tab. Clicking the wall joints tool goes to in wall corner, making the joints mitered. This wall has been added because of the placing the underneath the staircase issue with the wall profile that brings up the next section of the chapter which guides the modifying wall shape after that has been placed in the model. Alright, modifying wall profile place. Although we've touched on modifying wall profile, chapter 2, creating a model with a section of the technique with the next level you can make with the wall conform with the geometric shape of the few sample the rules, procedures. Let's edit with the profile next wall with the conform with the profile and the steps. With the view tab with the elevation button, interior elevation, figure 1612. Open the elevation, select the wall shown figure 1613. Mode tab, edit profile with the draw panel, pick lines, icon, underside, and underneath stairs file with the profile exactly, and then shows the drawing existing top magenta line, existing left magenta, selecting, pressing delete key. Also have the last profile, figure 1614. Trim extend the single element command to clean up all of the corners. Revit will allow you to continue to do this. Finish edit mode with the trim to underside of the chair. Repeat the procedures for each wall under the chair with the repeat added elevations for each finished wall should look like figure 1615. Now that you know to create a compound wall, modify it to fit an odd place for the time to learn more to add sweeps manually. Manually adding host sweeps properly with the wall scenario that you created with the previous procedure. They have one only horizontal wall sweep. Suppose you need a vertical wall sweep with a host sweep that comes into play for the host sweep that is like a sweep that you add wall properties by adding host sweep. You can sweep manually. Next configure with the add host sweep to the model. Go to the elevation figure 16 for the first one place and looking at the stairs. Architectural tab, click down bottom of the wall buttons, wall sweep, the property dialog box, edit type, duplicate, new sweep, chair, rail sweep, click OK, profile, casing profile 2, 5.5 inch, 13/16 of an inch material, choosing mahogany solid, click OK, modify, place wall sweep, vertical bond placement panel, 10, make sure the chair rail sweep is current with the type of selector menu, vertical rail with the right collector, corner shown figure 16/18. After trim is placed, base escape, select the vertical trim, notice the grip at the top of the bottom of the grip to drag it over the top of the chair rail, shown figure 16/19. Add another space about 3 feet with the left of the first sweep, within sweep to select with a temporary dimension, appear with the trim with a dimension with a 3 foot 0 inches. Trim with the bottom up to repeat with the sweep with the elevation looks like the figure 1620 vertical rail with 3 foot 0 inches. The other walls as with the wall should figure 1621. You can now make modifications of the wall, the direction with the adding sweep of the composition, add with the sweep of the freehand with you need to know on the other tip of the wall with the cover the giving curtain walls with the stack wall with the knee with the compound wall with the outside face with the elbow with the alignment if you're running into the situation with the construct with an entirely new wall. Creating stacked walls with a stacked wall simply with a wall created stack with a permeate wall with a give of the stacked walls with about 2 basic walls with a conjoin. The good thing with the stacked walls with a stack as many of it as you like. I recommend that you use some restraint through this wall with the U with the temporary. I get to get carried away. The adjust with the following procedure with the join the 3 basic walls together to create one stack with the result that can create an alcove with the architectural casework following these. Go to level 1 west architectural tab wall button selector with the property dialog box wall interior 6 1/8 of an inch edit type of duplicate wall 18 inches. Click on wrapping and insert with the wrapping ends of the interior with the edit button. Structural row layer area. Click 3 core boundary layers above the wrap and click insert with the function structure 1 material air barrier air infiltration barrier section 8 and a quarter 1/4 inch. Insert with the insert above the layer above. Function structure 1 material of the metal stud layer says the thickness 3 5/8 of an inch. Click OK twice to the left of the button. Ribbon to modify the button. Clear to the wall command. Let's begin building a stacked wall with the cover the 2 wall with the which for the specify the edit some of the dialog box stack wall with the new procedure of 18 inch over the partition wall. The architectural tab. Click the wall button already running. Scroll down the type selector until the read the stack wall exterior of the brick over the CMU metal stud thickness. Edit type duplicate. I can create a new wall, recess wall, click OK, edit the structure now, row, offset of the finished face of the interior, and types of changing wall 1 to 18 inch of the inches, soffit wall, change wall to interior 68th of an inch, partition, change height with 5/16 of an inch, interior wall, insert a wall below the interior 68th of an inch, partition wall, click a third wall, 18 inch, soffit wall, change the height of 3 foot, at the top of the dialog box, change sample height to 10 foot. Click preview button, click OK twice, draw the wall in the west wing shown in figure 624. If you wish, you can create the elevation cut section through the wall. With the concept of the stacked walls behind us, we can move it into the crazy world of curtain walls. Although curtain walls are complex in nature, Revit handles them quite well. Creating curtain wall at the top of the curtain wall of the wall brings it away from the conventional mindset of the wall. The curtain walls are placed with the model with the same way with the conventional wall, but the curtain walls have more restricted element properties that would examine the going through the interior model with the set of the curtain walls provide the most dramatic effect of the building section and explain with the detail. The curtain wall is not on and composed of glass and aluminum extrusion, can also be constructed the building materials such as brick, CMU, wood, also can be defined material spacing on the crate with a grade by grade depending on your situation. First part of the section, adding a predefined curtain wall system in the model. Adding predefined curtain wall, the quickest way to modify the curtain is use one already created for you with the out over the box wall with the curve of the instance with the type parameters available to make the curtain wall conform with the needs of the certain situation. Next procedure of the pertain curtain wall system, radial east entry wall. Follow these steps. Project browser, open level 1 east plan with the zoom into east entry, architectural tab, wall button, type selector, certain wall, storefront. Click edit type with duplicate, click new country and curtain, east entry, click OK, configure parameters, verify automatically embedded vertical grid pattern spacing at 4 foot 0 inches, adjust mullion size. Horizontal grid pattern, change the layout, maximum spacing, changing space of 4 foot. Also select adjusting mullion size. Click OK. Instant property dialog box. Change base offset 3 foot 7 inches. Top constraint up to the level of the roof. Top offset 1 foot 0 inches. Drawing panel. Click pick lines icon. Radial entry wall shown figure 625. Make sure the picking of the wall center line give to 3D view. Your curtain should reassemble 1626 and. The ability to create automatic curtain walls, such as the radial one entry with a quiet advantage with the come with the model certain quickly. However, the always represent the perfect square with the vertical shape of the creative with the blank curtain always becomes comes in handy. Can have the grids of the million space with the odd interval with the add black curtain wall, a blank curtain wall with nothing with a giant chunk of glass. By adding the curtain wall with the reveal, the do not space into the panel with the do not by itself with the square with the blank curtain wall with the additive with the model within go into the elevation edit profile of the panel with the project browser level 1 west view with the work panel with the architectural reference plane pick lines with the draw panel off with the reference of the plane 2.0 inches from the brick wall brick face of the brick in figure 2627. Architectural tab with the wall button with the type select with the curtain wall with the curtain wall 1 for the list edit type with the click duplicate call with the new certain with the southwest entry click OK select the automatic embed checkbox click OK all base offset have change with the 0.0 inches top constraint value up to level 5 offset change value, top offset value 0, 0, draw the wall, center line with the wall between the existing, each reference is shown in the figure 628. Note that the draw left to right exterior new wall will be inside. In the project browser, south entry of elevation and change visual style is shaded. Now that you've drawn and looking at the elevation beginning with the profile, some of the current grids your own. Edit with the current profile with the following steps. Select with the current wall, modify wall with the edit profile with the draw panel. Pick lines using the option bar offset with the roof down to 2 foot 0 inches. Trim the edge of the current wall with the offset line. Draw with the horizontal magenta line in the new floating finish edit mode with the current wall's profile should resemble with the shapes of the curtain or finish with the creative some of the divisions along with the vertical horizontal wall of the Revit called the curtain grids. Alright, creating curtain grids. Because there is the single plane glass needed to dice it up the situation with the beginning of the dividing glass, the curtains grids command with the finish of the add million with the doors, the even material of the panel with the by adding curtain grid the glass panel with the building panel architecture with the curtain grid shown in figure 1630, a modified plan curtain grid type all segments button shown in figure 1631. Move the cursor up to the left of the side of the curtain wall with the pick the horizontal point 8 foot 0 inches over the base of the wall. Exit choice modified with the horizontal grid. Copy over the button. Modify grid up to 4 foot 0 inches. Copy 4 foot grid up to 2 foot 0 inches. Repeat pattern as you reach for the top of the wall. Click the curtain grid button. Slide your cursor over the base panel with the grid. Extend with the vertical direction. Place panel with a one segment button with the midpoint with the panel with the segmented bottom panel with modified with the vertical grid. Modified toolbar. Click over the move icon, move the grid to the left 3 foot, copy the grid over 6 foot 0 inches. Your wall should now figure 1633. With a panel with a broken up, that can begin with the adding material with one of the materials made. Now think of the actual door with the Revit the curtain free wall with the added with the door with the current material with the adding materials. In addition to you can create a certain wall, any wall present with the model with the added separate wall, so with the proceed with the curtain system and the add with the brick belts filled 2 foot 0 inches from the shape of the inch of the load family and the browse of the door. So this current wall store with the front with the file with the zoom with a 6 by 8 foot by 8 foot panel. However, the course of the top of the panel, place the tab key wall panel is highlighted. Pick it. And the type select the curtain. Pick the curtain wall store with the door store front double door appears and select the 2 foot 0 inches panels over the door. Type select your basic wall generic 12 inch masonry. Press escape. Fill the rest with the 2 foot 0 inches hands with the same generic 12 inch masonry. With the panels of the, you can start with filling the millions. Begin with the next step of the adding millions to the grids. Okay. Adding millions to the grid. Next logical step of the grid with the millions would be attached to the grid just to have a few parts area with where you should be millions just because of the more tedious. Next example, it could go for the one of two ways. One technique, add millions piece by piece. For the other procedure, add millions one over the delete with the millions. Did not renew the procedure. Takes the later approach. You'll add the millions one and more. Remove the superfluous millions. On the build a panel architectural, click the million button shown in figure 1635 with the property dialog box. Shoot with the rectangular million 2.5 inches by 5 inch. Rectangular place panel with all the grid lines for the grid above the door shown in figure 1636 with place any one of the grid millions. Add with the entire system. Press escape. The mullions adds but they actually gone off over the main and aluminum. Separate CMU with adjacent break with the delete with the mullions appear with the door. Let's remove the piece of the mullions. Zoom into the area CMU meets the break as shown figure 1637. Small mullion piece line breaks of the break and CMU. You have the tab several times to accomplish this. You can either modify the join as shown in figure 1637. The press with delete with a remove of the mullion. In this case, with delete with the mullion. Repeat the procedure with the other similar areas. When you have accomplished your embedded predefined curtain wall with a radio profile, add curtain system with a giant glass panel with on the hand. Only thing to add is to apply with the curtain wall and sloping surface. Adding wall to the massing object. Everything you've done with it at this point, but it has been with a perfectly plumb application. Everything in the architectural is perfect plumb. However, suppose you need a wall slopped or at an angle with the gentle readers to let it get into the world of massing. Now that you're finally you could 3D for the first time in the book, you need to think of this term. They have to deal with the two-dimensional level of the Revit the project with the third. The first need to provide a geometry plane. Second, you have to provide geometry and elevation. You have a plane, elevation, geometry should blend with the two together with creating a third dimension. One must curve it as simply an area applied with the wall system facing the mass. So let's get started with the open level of one west view. Zoom on the area shown in figure 1638. Massing site tab in mass place mass button. Revit throw over the warning state with the turning of the mass visibility. This is good, so click on it. Click on the new mass west wing auditorium. Click OK. Draw panel reference line button shown in figure 1639. Make sure the draw on the work plane is active. The draw straight line in the course of the building shown with the moving with 4 foot 2 inches. Be sure the pick of the fake brace with the start with the reference command style starting click start and then radius arc button. Pick the corner of the building. Move the cursor right over the arc snap with a tendency with the third point. Modify your plan should look like 1640. Alright, let's take out the breather. You're satisfied with the first criteria of creating mass element, creating a simple line and arc of the line and arc of the guide with the vertical geometry right along. This is the path of the time to move on the second dimension, vertical dimension. These steps of the section called the Wars corridor section. Double click with the section plan. You can open it to the project browser. Draw panel reference plane is shown in figure 1641. Pick lines of the offset of the front face of the wall from 2 foot 0 inches. Same command still running offset of the reference of the 2 foot 0 inches from the bottom of the roof and beyond. Let's draw the actual shape of the draw in the model line button, the work plane dialog box. Click a plane, click OK, select the wall. On the options bars, to make sure that the surface of the closed loop, unsure for the training the button, select for the draw line is draw option, draw line point 1, point 2, shown in figure 1643, draw line point 2 to 3, and 3 to 2, 4, and press escape only once. Click the pick lines and offset of 6 inches. Hover the angled line, press the tab key. 3 lines are highlighted. Pick for the wall with the zoom in a little with the Revit, and then you need to make a screen selection. Offer that 3 lines to the right, and shown in 1644. Change offset with the G over the option. Pick a line with the draw line. Draw the line at the top of the bottom and with the close of the loop. And pick modify noise for the 3 requirement 3D complete with horizontal vertical plan and vertical elevation. Only thing you left to do is tell Revit to blend it together. Go to 3D view. Zoom in the air of the working. Hover the cursor over the line. Shape it and adjust groove with the press tab key. Revit select the entire parameter of the shape, the vertical shape of the whole with the control key. Pick the reference arc key drew. Click the create form button shown in figures 1646. When the form is played for the finish mass button, you should be looking at it shown in figure 1647. Now it gets fun. You're beginning to add walls and shape of the Revit architectural 3 ways to add walls with the model, drawing them and picking lines into them, picking faces. You have some pretty sweet faces, eager to home some wall with less digging and following these steps. Architectural tab, current system button, edit tab, to edit type, click duplicate, call the new system and trim the current sale with the current panel system panel glaze. Set joint coordinated to the border grid 1 continuous lay a grid pattern, new maximum spacing of 2 foot 0 inches. Select adjust mullion size. Mullion size repeat setting of the grid pattern 2 grid 1 grid 2 million cellular manage 2.5 inches cellular circular interior type as well with the border 1 border 2 types shown in figure 1648. Click OK. Click OK, pick the 2 sloping faces of the mass shown in figure 1649. Click critical system button and you have let's add CMU with the brick wheel, the top bottom visual style shades with the architectural tab with the wall button type selected with the property dialog basic wall generic 12 inches masonry. On draw panel, click the pick faces button shown in figure 1651. Option bar finish face exterior location line bottom face of masses. And the type of selector generic 4-inch brick, and selector top faces system should look like figure 1652, which is cool. I think it's better I add to the roof, just a close out with a exercise all of those supercilious explosive brother. Although throughout the rest of the book, if you don't need the following step, go to the floor point quarter or purpose to visualize wireframe view, control by architectural tab, roof button type selector, set roof basic canopy roof, basic offset level 4.5 inches. Make sure with the define slope button, just select it with the option bar. Make sure pick walls option is selected with it in the draw panel. Overhang 1 foot and 0 inches. Pick the wall of the auditorium. Select offset. Pick of the walls of the building. Clean up with the overlapping niches. This should look like the figure 1653. Finish edit mode. Select the default 3D view. Select masking site tab. Shows masking view settings. New auditorium should look like figure 1651. 4. As you can see, you can get the doorway missing. Literally, there are no ways to get little particio you just created with a new chapter with a discussing creating families with delve much more deeper into masking that makes up components built in our Revit Architectural 2015. Alright, are you experienced? Now you can create custom compound walls with the edit assembly dialog box, create stack walls, joint compound walls together, create sweep wall profiles, form sweeps, curtain walls, predefined wall system from blank panel, create vertical angled walls, applying curtain system masking object. Chapter 7, Creating Families.